Alright guys, welcome back to another Steam playthrough. Today we have Black Book, which is a card game, story-rich type game. Hopefully it'll be good. I love card games. As always, I'll leave a link to the game in the description if you want to try it for yourself. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow and I always appreciate it. Then I saw on the right hand of him who sat on a throne a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scrolls?" But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside of it. Book of Revelation, chapter 5, verses 1 through 3. Alright, let's be a Caldunia. Like the second hardest difficulty. I think we can do this one. I have experience with...
Evil spirits dwelled here in these parts, and in a sense, they still do. I will tell you a story. It happened long ago, even before the revolution. It happened here, not far from Cherdin. I heard my grandmother tell it. A man was fostering an orphan girl. He was a Noah. Everyone called him Old Yegur. She didn't want to become a witch, but he taught her his craft. She was to be married to a special young man.
And me? Am I the special young man?
I can't recall what exactly happened, but this young man took his own life.
Nope.
He was later buried beyond the gates of the churchyard. Which meant that he would pass straight to hell. As for the orphan, Vasilisa, she refused to accept it. She was intent on bringing back his soul from the inferno.
First Dante Inferno. Wow.
To do this, she would need to break the 7 seals of the Black Book, which Old Igor kept, and retrieve him. And it was for that reason that Vasilisa agreed to become a witch. But to become one, she needed to be initiated in a banya or at a crossroads. And so, Vasilisa set out for the crossroads.
That cat thing right there. Really pretty. Game developed by Morteshka. Yeah, this is like a reverse Dante's Inferno, boy. Instead of like the dude going to save the chick, it's the chick going to save the guy. Sheridan Uyezid Perm Governat Norat 1879. They got some wacky words in this game, bro. Well, they're probably just not in English. Which is why they seem wacky to me, I guess. Ah, yes. The grave.
I slept poorly last night.
It is hell. Speak up.
Been waiting, hoping for you to return. But you haven't. You never sat at the table. Where are you now, sweetheart? Where you headed?
Hell!
Relatives. And from the warm summer, departed. There's no entrance or exit for you, it seems. Cold Mother Earth. There isn't even a churchyard fence to hold on to.
What?
Enough. I don't believe you would do this to yourself. It'll all be well. All will be well. I'll accept this knowledge from Grandpa, though I know what you thought of that. But there's no other choice. I'll drag you from that road myself.
But what if they killed him so that you would do this with your grandpa?
Sleep for now. Sleep.
Predictable.
I won't be long.
Ah, I actually click him. Candles! Grab them candles. Those are our candles now. How'd I grab them? They didn't bury him in the holy ground. Oh, I turned him out. Okay, that's what I did. No holy ground for the suiciders. I had a weird face, dude. Was this a herb? Grab that. We need it. Adam's head. Adam's head heals minor wounds. A useful thing on any journey. Road to the crossroads. Look at that bird. Look at all these birds. To the crossroads. It's time to duel. I want to duel somebody. Prologue. An initiation of a witch.
The darkness of the night is filled with anticipation. You're at Mikhail's crossroads, along with old Yegor. You know the ritual that has to be done, but you've never thought of what might happen once it's complete. However, the time to draw the circle has come.
A sec, look around. Old Yegor. The milepost. Sheridan, 16 miles. Soulless Mosque, 102 miles. Nairub, 21 miles, I think it said. He has eyeballs. That's another herb. You want to duel old Yegor? You foolish old man. Can't handle my power. Hey, what's a gold belt? The crosses look old. It seems people were buried here quite some time ago. Alright, duel me, old man.
Where have you been? It will be midnight soon. Go over there, by that milepost. Everything you need for the ritual you'll find over there. Take the candles, we'll light them and draw a circle.
Sure. Ritual candles. Old and enchanted candles from old Yegor's hut. With their help, you can draw a circle that can offer protection against evil spirits. Applies 3, whatever that is, on the first turn. Sure. Alright, we need to draw a circle of some type. How do I do that? Alright, do I just go back to him now that I grabbed the candles? Is that what we do?
Well done, Vasilisa.
Oh, thank you.
Now let's draw a circle. Be careful not to leave any gaps, otherwise we'll be crushed by evil spirits.
I suck at drawing. Okay, she's gonna do it for me. Sick.
I've made a circle. Is it alright, Grandfather?
The circle is drawn. No gaps, good. Too late to dither now.
You think that I can help him?
Sure you can. You can do anything when you have the book. So says the legend. Well, go on. It's time for you to take my knowledge. Such a long time we've spent together. Parting with it is bittersweet. Well, take it.
Knowledge acquired.
Would you look at that? What power emanates from the book? The seal is open. It seems great sorcery lurks in you. Well, think about it later. Now speak the words I taught you.
I'm the same on Masama Musa.
I'll get up without crossing myself, but I will go to the crossroads. On the crossroads, I'll draw a circle and step into it, and I shall speak. Good merchants, come and buy my cat.
Come and buy
For
my
this
cat.
Give me neither inconvertible ruble nor a fine hat, but bestow me with knowledge of the dark and eyes with vision sharp. So as I have said, so it will be. My words are stone.
Come and buy my cat.
Here
Oh, is
are
that-
your
oh, Lord.
merchants. Now listen carefully if you value your life. To become a witch, you have to defeat this demon.
Oh, too easy.
Time for your first Zagavar.
Zagaval. Welcome to your first battle. Each battle consists of turns. You and your enemy take turns, but you always get to go first. Fantastic. You win when you destroy all enemies before you, reducing their health to 0. This is the Black Book. It contains all of your Zangavers. Try using the word Urzi. Press the intern button to recite your Zangaver. Hiya! Slap. That's all you got, dude? The pages you had the previous turn have changed. The book alters the pages each turn. Enemy attacks can be blocked with the defense. A defense shield shields you from damage, but it disappears on your next turn. Recite the page Adavalai, which has the effect of defense. Adavalai.
Such
man.
enchanted words protect from demons, but this protection fades quickly.
Oh, it doesn't stack.
Now draw up a complete Zagavar.
Zagavar. You may combine several pages into a Zagavar. You can recite a maximum of 3 pages as indicated by the empty slots at the top of the screen. A Zagavar consists of orders and keys. You can currently recite a Zagavar consisting of 2 orders and 1 key. You can see the top type of page, order, or key in its upper corner, the upper left, I guess? Yeah, okay. Well, I want to do this one. What's this do? Perfect. End his career! Oh, I need one more attack to kill him. Lame. Rabaha! This is pretty cool.
Vasya. This demon is nearly beaten. A couple more spells to rid the world of it.
Black Book can helps you predict your enemy's actions. Study the enemy's intents carefully to upset their plans. I mean, we're just gonna kill him, right? Easy. What's that mushroom? That's a mad mushroom, dude.
Take that, you monkey hellhound! Well, now, Vasya, answer this maw. You'll be a witch as soon as you return. Well,
Witch.
safe travels.
You're not coming with me, dude? I guess not. Alright. Old Igor. Uh-oh. Satan looks kind of goofy, bro. I ain't scared of him. Old stick arm. He got bigger arms than she does. He slapped Satan right back to where he belongs, dude. Give me my suicidal husband. I demand it. How to become a witch. Yeah, I like this, but I think it's going to be too simple. Even though I think I'm jinxing myself, I don't think this is going to be a very hard game to play. It's a piranha.
Is that you, Vasilisa?
How's he know my name?
I should congratulate you.
That's Big Satan.
For the first seal is open.
Nice.
Only 6 remain. Oh, but will you be able to open the rest?
Yeah.
This is another matter entirely.
The wish.
I'm curious. Can the Black Book grant any wish?
Indeed, as legend dictates. Who knows? Perhaps you shall meet your beloved soon. Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals?
Me.
No one in heaven, on earth, or beneath it has ever been able to open the scroll or look upon it. Yet.
I'm the chosen one.
How do I open the seals?
Oh. Can't figure it out by yourself, girl.
I'm no mere girl. I'm the all-powerful witch lady.
I'm disappointed in you.
Wow.
What sort of devil are you?
How rude, Vasilisa. I'm your chief advisor. It is I who grants you the powers of a Khaldun. We will become better acquainted in time, I presume.
Let me return to the land of the living.
No.
Not just yet. Have you forgotten your purpose? I name you a witch.
I'm sick.
How many demons will you take on for your service?
12. Just one.
Surely I will only need one at most.
We do not assign fewer than 3 imps, Vasilisa. I'll pick out the best among Yegor's old imps for you. Now go. Perhaps we'll meet again. If you manage to open the seals.
stroke. The Black Book, Chapter 1. Allegedly. A nice village.
What? Well, are you awake? The sun rose while you were coming to. Had to drag you home. I understand it's not easy to pass through the Devil's domain. So, you've seen it?
Huh? Are we home? Seems like it was all a dream. The devil made me a witch.
Well, then it is a good day. What did I tell you? You should have become a witch a long time ago.
You Bali Chica.
Well, what's done is done. The legend says that your wish is behind the 7 seals. I could never open the first one.
Oh, you suck.
Here's the second seal. The aspen one.
How do I open it? Maybe it was the demon at the crossroads that opened the first.
Perhaps. I think that demons do play a part, but what spirit is the aspen one? I'll have to rack my brain a bit. Maybe there's something in the books? You yourself are a witch now. I knew that you would not let me down. The news of your enlightenment has spread already. Must be the Susetkes who told the heads of the families.
A house spirit or a hobgoblin lives under the hearth in the Golbet cellar.
Now people will come to you for advice. I am old now, not many teeth left. My Koldun powers are waning. Now it is you who will help the people around here. Perhaps you will even find the right demon for your problem.
Just want a duel, dude.
Well, while you were coming to your senses, I've already spoken to most of the visitors. There's only one left. He's waiting behind the door. Look around for a start. Your book is over there, on the table. Do you remember how I taught you bookbinding?
No.
Afterwards, see to that visitor of yours. Some evil spirit has been giving him trouble. Got it?
The devil.
Have you yourself met this devil?
I was initiated as a Koldun once. I saw this devil, who gave me my charts.
A demon or devil who can serve as a Khaldun's familiar.
I couldn't even lift the first seal. And you, who all you needed was one touch, and it's gone already. It seems there is great power within you. Got it?
Yeah, let's
I
get to
got
work.
it, Grandpa. Time to get to work.
Look for the spirits around the district. Maybe we'll get lucky with the seals. We should not tarry. Who knows? Perhaps after 40 days have passed, we won't be able to help.
In Eastern Orthodoxy, a traditional memorial service held on the 40th day after the death of the departed, after which his or her soul leaves this world.
God bless.
God bless, huh? The book. On this screen, you can change the page composition of the Black Book. On the right side, you can see the current page composition of the Black Book. On the left side are pages available to you, but not in the current Black Book composition. You can categorize pages with special filters. You might receive pages that are currently unavailable as battle or task rewards. You can alter page composition of the book to craft new pages. You need robles. The Black Book volume has to stay within the limits of the maximum and minimum number of pages. In time, you will uncover even more Black Book pages, which are at present sealed away. You can change the composition of the Black Book at any time except during combat. Excuse me. First seal. A solitary sun stands by the seal. He opens it not for the one that can hold the book, but for the one with the strength to open the seals. Yep. Items. Candles. Thick. Onomasty and Bolithicus. The mill that stood still. A man from Vyatka once lived in our village. He would tell us stories. One involved a miller that had to make offerings to a Shishiga, or else she would prevent the mill mechanism from turning. As an offering, he gave her part of the stores of his stores of flour, grain, and breadcrumbs. On one occasion, he forgot and offered nothing. Soon enough, the windmill ground to a halt. When the man went to investigate inside the mill, there was the Shishiga, sitting on the grinder, threatening him with her fingers outstretched. She suddenly vanished. The miller gathered some tobacco and threw it in the shadows in the corners of the mill at midnight. The windmill started to turn again, and the Shishiga stopped causing mischief. Right. It isn't easy being a Khaldun. Becoming one is a terrifying experience. People tell a lot of stories. One in particular comes to mind. A man decided to punish his neighbor for changing the boundary of his field to a neighboring one. He went to a Khaldun and asked, "Give me a chart with which to curse my neighbor." The Khaldun replied, "It's not as simple as that. Do as I say and you will have your chart." He then told him they would need to go to a banya at midnight. So the man gathered his courage and took along his rifle and his cross. Oh, it is scary at the banya. He loaded his gun with his cross and shot at the hearth. A fiery dog emerged and opened its maw. The only option was to climb inside, and even though his instincts told him to, he stopped himself from making the sign of the cross. He recalled at the last moment that if he did so, he would lose his hand. He climbed down into the hearth, of course. What would you have done? As soon as he entered the maw, he saw fidgety little people sitting behind set tables. "I want one small church with which I can curse my neighbor." The imps replied matter-of-factly, "We come in no fewer than 3. The man awoke in the banya with 3 charts. "Father, give us work. We want to eat." He gave them a cat to curse and some other small task. More and more charts appeared. He tried to keep up with the demands of the charts, but he soon grew exhausted in mind and body. In the end, the charts took to the entertaining themselves with the villagers till all of the inhabitants were cursed. Crossroads are one of the key points of the travel between the world of the living and the depths of the underworld. It is a place that exists as a boundary between worlds. That is why the heroes of fairy tales often stop at the crossroads. They must choose their path. However, any path they choose leads to the world of the unliving, the so-called Tridaviato Sartsovo, whatever, the faraway kingdom. It is here that they must battle the serpent or Koshte, who embodies the undead, as well as overcome other difficult challenges. Churdan Uyezd was located in the northern part of Perm Gubernia. Finno-Ugric beliefs were closely interwoven with those of Christianity, creating a unique cultural blend. The first trade route from Europe to Asia passed through Churdan, transforming every river, creek, mountain, and hill into a part of European and Asian history. The Khaldun initiation. As in my neophyte initiation, the sorcerer called Khaldun has to pass through the maw of a beast at a crossroads, a banya or whatever may constitute a boundary space. Most often the initiation took place at a banya, and that is why the beast is often represented by a fiery dog. In different cultural traditions, the neophyte has to pass through the maw of the totemic ancestor. Interestingly, in the Churdan region, this tradition has been partially preserved. In the geographic zone where Russian people interact closely with the Komi people, Khalduns have to pass through the maw of the white swan, capercaillie, pike, lizard, or bear. All of these are totemic ancestors of Komi Permians, and we can see evidence of this traditional bronze plaque and amulets. Increases the number of orders in your Zangzavar by 1. I gotta be level 5. I think, even though I read all that, I'll probably wait to read the rest of it. Old Igor!
So, Vasya, have you taken well to learning the mystical arts? Are you curious enough to learn some more?
So how did you become a Khaldun, grandfather?
I was born in Vilgard, the 6th son of my father, Yevlam Pichurov. It was a big family, not the richest though. When you have so many mouths to feed, it's hard to save money. But we lived well as a family. The house must have been built well. That is to say, I realize this now. Then one year, a seventh brother was born. Timofey he was called. He was a good lad. He grew up, but I didn't look after him well enough. Heavy is this sin of mine. I still feel guilty. Vasya, having chores is a trivial thing. You would do better to protect the ones closest to you, to fight for them. It's knowledge that gives us strength, for we harness their own power against them, with the chores under our control. One day I was looking after Timofey. We were playing with the other children, but I lost my patience with the boy. I cursed him severely, sent him to the Leshi.
Also known as Versa, a Komi word, spirits who are the masters of the forest and sometimes fields and meadows. They control the weather and also animals and evil spirits who inhabit their domain. Hunters and shepherds have to come to an agreement with Leshis and offer them gifts and bargains.
So the Leshi carried him away. We never found Timoshka. He'd vanished. Oh, it's hard to bear these scenes, Vasya. So hard. So I decided to become a Khaldun. Well, I'll tell the story of how I became a Khaldun later. Ask me tomorrow. It's hard to remember all these things of the past. You'll understand when you're as old as me.
Give me
So
one
how
second.
did...
I went, but then he grew up, Vas. It's knowledge that keep. One day I cursed him, so we never found. Oh, it's hard to be. So I decided to become a Khaldun. I wouldn't let the Dark Ones harm my family ever again. Or so I thought. Well, I'll tell the story of how I became a Khaldun later.
How can I recognize evil spirits? How can I know when they're before me?
Simple. You've been to the world of the devil, and now you'll see everything for what it is. The only thing is, the darkness will see you too. Demons and spirits will track you down, and as soon as you glance into the darkness, you'll feel their eyes upon you as well. Be strong. Such is our fate. You make your own way.
How's
Bizaba,
Izba built?
a traditional Russian countryside
It
dwelling.
was built long ago. Lots of people have lived here since. More than half a century ago,
Oh,
it
God.
seems. All according to old rituals. You know them by now. But I don't remember who built it. My grandfather, I suppose.
No, I have to...
Visitors. Come in, peasant. Look at his beard.
Oh, God bless Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Fedorovna.
Jesus, dude.
God bless.
I come bearing gifts. Some flour for your household. Please, hear me out. I won't waste your time. I'll tell you straight away. Something terrible is happening at the mill. We were working in the night when suddenly we heard some strange sounds. Then a shadow began to darken in one of the corners. Such a deep blackness. We ran for our lives. You are known for your knowledge in these matters. What should I do now?
During the night shift at the windmill, we heard some strange sounds and saw some strange shifting shadows. What could be behind such emanations?
Peasant spirits and fiends will all seek your advice and help in affairs of witcheries. After all, you are a knower. If you answer a knowledgeability question correctly, you will receive an experience reward. Sometimes your answers will influence in-game events. To recognize the correct answer, you will have to carefully study your surroundings and the onomasticon, which you can open at any moment from your menu. You can receive a hint by pressing your knowledge button, however you'll only get half the experience. I mean, from what I read... Crossroads are one of the key ones. The Isaba is a traditional countryside dwelling, blah blah blah. They are commonly found in forests, forest deeps, and on the banks of rivers. Usually, Isabas are built from conifers. On forest steps, isbas are sometimes built from birches, even though this type of tree is rarely used in construction. The interior of an isba is laid out according to tradition. Coins and other offerings to the guardian spirit of the house are placed on a shelf in the red corner by tradition. The hearth was also placed diagonally to the red corner. Alright, I'm gonna say it's a demon. I feel that.
Why do you work at night?
I was right. Sick.
Demons are at work.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Well, how do you think the millstones turn? Not by the wind alone, obviously. It's forbidden to work a windmill after nightfall.
But what do we do now? I did everything right when I built it. Please, help me. I have this old item that you might find useful.
You'd better cough it up if we help you.
He said, Jesus Christ.
All right, Vasha. Look into what's going on with that place. The demon there may be of use to us, you know?
I'll find out what's going on with your chort.
Oh, thank you. I was told you wouldn't let me down. Goodbye for now.
He's not your average miller. Usually they consort with a leshy, but this miller has some chort. Well, I'll study these seals while you're off dealing with the mill. And to make your trip a bit easier, take this herb. It is called an Adam's Head. It will heal you up if anything goes sideways. Time for you to be on your way. Evil spirits won't quell themselves. Well, you get all that? Wanna ask anything else?
Where do I find this windmill?
Don't you remember the one to the north of Vilgord?
A large village in the Churden district where you were born and raised by Old Igor. Vilgort means new village in the Komi-Permian language.
The devil haunts that place at night, people say. Go there and be back home by sunrise. We have much to do.
How do I use the herb?
Well, it's quite simple. Use them in battle to close up your wounds.
Got it, Grandfather. It's time to go. See you tomorrow.
Wait. One more thing.
One more thing.
I've sent a chort to Kusheva village. He must have cursed someone. Go there and fix it. You'll earn some money in process.
All right, Grandpa.
You are now on your travel map. Every night it will display different locations. You may go on your way only after you speak to all your visitors. You can visit any available location, however your health recovers only after you accomplish your task and return to Isba. Your goal, visit your main task location. However, you can't reach it without visiting all the other locations along the way. The game autosaves each time the location changes. You can also save your progress manually, in which case the game will save as soon as you enter a new location. You can open the map by clicking on your present location. We wish you the best of luck exploring the northern lands of Churden UZ. Where am I at? This is where I'm at? Give me 1 second. I want to look at this bookshelf real quick. Golbitz in Isabel's shelter. Old Igor says that where the Domovoy lives, a household spirit. I've never met one, but I once saw a black figure standing still in the corner of the house. Grandfather says that the days of old, they used to bury people under the stove. That is how the Domovoy came to be. I've read all these books one day. That's weird. To be a knower is so much more than wrangling charts. Someone with a vast amount of knowledge who might also be a Khalduna or a witch. Anything else? It's Jesus! Is that Jesus? I don't know. Alright, let's start our quest, I guess. The Old River Bend. At one time, the Kolvas flowed through here. Now this place is a swamp. My battle map, pretty much.
The silver glow of the moon catches glimpses of the foul water. The chilled northern night air is split by dull croaks coming from the swamp.
I'm closer.
You move closer, a couple of steps. Suddenly, a demon appears from beneath the water with black horns and a body that is woolly and matted.
Finally, let's do this, son. Are you ready? Oh, it's one of those. That's the freaking weak arm demon. I like that one. You've added a word, just added a word to Sangvar that contains a stats effect. Stats effects usually reduce their value each turn. Carefully choose the right moment and the right place for the Sangvar of words with stats effects. Let's do this. Hit him with it. Poison, son. Yeah, so this is like a poison skill deck so far. At least that thing is. But yeah, unless I go against somebody crazy OP, I don't think this is going to be a very hard game to beat. The lore is pretty freaking expansive though. Huge world, it seems like. Well-versed, lock. Firm. This page remains active for 3 turns and affects other pages, e.g. well-versed. I don't know what that means. Firm, well-versed. Well-versed. The page effect amplifies by 1 for every other page of the same color of Zegavor. I don't know what that means, dude. Same color of Zegavor. Two rubles and XP. Go this way. Camgort Woods. Piney woods to the north of Camgort Village. In the autumn you can find mushrooms upon mushrooms here.
Standing amidst the black wooden figures, you hear a rustle in the trees. You read the protective spells, but out comes a person, not a demon. An ancient woman dressed in old clothes. It would seem you have come across a beggar.
Greet the beggar.
Oh, a witch, a witch.
Yeah.
I can smell your kind from a mile away.
Got a problem?
Can you spare a few coins? I don't need much to get by. A person is only as good as they are charitable.
Yeah.
Here you are. Don't forget me in your prayers.
Thank you. I'll pray for your lost soul.
Kind of rude, bro.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Here, take this.
Take this. A healing oil.
Nice. Thanks. It's dangerous to go alone.
Near the forest's edge, you see a white towel on an old stump. Someone has left a bottle of milk and some piragi. Near these gifts is a birch charter. Peasants from Bigichi village are asking the Leshi to take care of their cattle.
Steal the gifts, tamper with the charter. I'm gonna tamper with it, see what it does.
You draw up a new charter. Now the Leshi will be helping peasants from Vilgard. If evil spirits help anyone, they should help your village, not the inhabitants of Bigichi.
You have just committed your first sin. They say that the fate of the Khaldun and the witch is to burn in eternal flames with no chance for absolution. The outcome of some events of the game is yours to decide. Your sin counter will change according to your decisions. Your number of sins affect your choice of replies as well as possible game endings. They say each person has an angel on their right shoulder and a devil on their left, but to whom you turn your ear is entirely upon you. Okay. I'm gonna try to be a good person after that one, I guess. A curved lake on the left bank of the Kulva. They say 2 men drowned in it this year. Must be quite an unsafe place at night. Aye. Let's see how long this is, depending on if I do other endings.
Near Kacheva Lake, you see 2 silhouettes. One is combing the other's long hair. There is something strange in his uneven movements. Something that gives you shivers.
Read a prayer.
The black figures disappear as soon as you recite the name of God.
Gotcha. God? Oh wait. Need to visit Kushev village. Not fall from Camgort. That's an optional thing. I need to do that real quick. I'm glad you don't have to go one place at a time.
You stealthily creep by the village houses. At least, You thought you were being stealthy. You hear a familiar voice calling out from one of the windows overhanging the street.
Washer, wait! I have business with you. Hush! We'd better whisper. I've got this neighbor and I hate her guts. So curse her a bit, will you? Here's a killer curse or something. Not a strong one. I've got a gift ready for you.
No. Curse the peasant instead.
I don't have time for this. I'm on my way to help the miller.
You wait for the peasant to leave.
Oh,
then
dang
read
it,
a
I'm
black
doing all the bad
sign
ones.
to curse him.
I need to stop doing that. I'm doing bad things. A small village to the west of Kolva. I've been there a couple times with old Igor. He had to heal some cows. This is a place he sent a torch for a job.
You notice a noisy family gathering in front of one of the houses. It's unusual to see an entire family out on the street at this hour. Strange, muffled sounds are coming from inside their house. Falling cutlery, furniture moving around.
Good evening to you, Vasilisa. God himself has sent you to us tonight. Everything has been turned upside down in our house. The enemy of man is haunting our house. The devil himself is here. Everyone is scared senseless.
How did it manage to get in here? It's no simple matter for a chort to get inside a human dwelling. What did you do yesterday?
We just had some tea. Natalia likes it a lot. She's quite fond of tea. Then we prayed and went to sleep. And in the middle of the night, it all started.
Tea time turned into a chort invasion. I wonder why these demons appeared in the first place.
Ritual behavior. Ritual or behavior reinforced by custom is inseparable from mythology. It is often believed that specific events are a consequence of another. For instance, a peasant suffering from misfortune after forgetting to cross himself is perceived as being punished for not observing a ritual. This has has resulted in all sorts of popular beliefs. Dishes not locked away at night or cross become a refuge for evil spirits. A sick child or a changeling needs to be thrown across the threshold of the house, inhabited by spirits who were lured there by the killing of a rooster during its construction. After some time, the underlying reason for a ritual becomes forgotten, leaving behind only the ritual itself. So she forgot to cross it.
And did you make the sign of the cross over the samovar?
That must be it. We didn't mark the samovar with a cross.
You must do this. And please remember next time.
You're such a great knower, Vasya. Please, won't you help us? Don't leave us this way.
I will help you.
Very well. I will help you. It's no good sleeping on the street, is it?
Thank you, Vasilisa. Have some milk for you, Johnny.
Milk.
You come inside the izba. Everything is in complete disarray. The chorts have certainly had their way here. You make the sign of the cross and take a couple of careful steps deeper inside. The demons have made a mess. They threw the dishes and cooking pots around, but luckily, the brass utensils seem to be intact. The most damaged part is the shrine in the corner. The icon cases are damaged, and the candles are broken.
I like that you have to, actually learn stuff. That's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. The more you know, the better things you get. The Red Corner is one of the most important and mystical places in Izaba. It is similar in importance to the hearth since it plays a central role in the home. It is most commonly in the right-hand corner of the Izaba, across from the door, even in some northern Russian traditions where a porch is situated in an unusual manner. Most likely, ancestral idols were once placed atop these shrines following the arrival of Christianity. It became home to the icons of saints. The other name for the Red Corner in Bojnitsa, which means a god's place, and it always housed a small icon lamp. The head of the family sat in this corner and oversaw a holiday feast. Additionally, before the funeral, the deceased body of the family head was placed on a table with his head below the Red Corner. When entering an Izba, a visitor would make the sign of the cross over himself while looking at the Red Corner, even if there were no icons present. Excuse me. Approach the
You
samovar.
approach the overturned samovar. Suddenly, it shakes and starts to move, and red eyes light up the darkened room. A demon is here.
Dead demon, dude. Don't goof, dude. I'll kill the hot one first, I would think. I need to kill him ASAP. Yes, I do. Can't kill him this turn, so I might as well block as much as I can and then kill him next turn, ideally. Owie. My first hit. How dare you? You heathen. What's Bless do, by the way? Sorry. Increases strength of each page for 2. That seems good. Let's do that. Getting healed by something, I wonder. Rest in peace, my dude. Well-versed increases the number of keys in the book by the next round by 1. Gesture does not expend cantillation, whatever that means, dude. Word increases for 3 turns at the beginning of each round. That'd be really good. In the Father's name. I want that in my book. Oh, am I picking one? Oh, I don't know how it works.
The elders of the family bow to you and thank you for helping them. They also give thanks to God for bringing you here. The girl, Axinia, assures you that from now on every jar in the house will be crossed.
Yeah, get crossed, son. Is this a key or is this... Oh, it is a key. Nice. Okay, it's already in there. How do I get out of here? Oh, yeah. Set off. The river flows something, something, something. I didn't read it. My bad. I'll read it after the
Gloomy windmill arms creak in the distance, parting the pre-dawn fog. The shadow of an owl passes overhead. It crosses your path, a bad omen, since man's path and man's destiny are as one. Yet, could it be it was trying to point you somewhere?
Follow it.
Suddenly, you come upon a swamp and stop at its border. It is dangerous to continue onward. You turn to go back and notice a devil's finger beneath your feet.
New item. Devil's finger. Devils periodically shed their claws so that new ones can grow. Sharper and stronger, their discarded fingers turn to stone and have healing properties. Nice. Let me read this real quick. The river flows through Poliod Ridge. Someone in Pushka village told me that the river was formed from the tears of Poliud. Sounds like a tall tale. Go to these side quests real quick.
You meet two travelers from Bigichi village who are on their way to the fields. The three of you continue on your journey together. Near the mouth of a chasm, one of them jokingly tries to shove you into the pit. You play along, thinking it was meant in jest. However, a moment later, it stops being funny. The peasant is inhumanly strong. He overpowers you, and you go tumbling down off the edge of the chasm. You come to your senses at the bottom of a narrow ravine. The trees rustle loudly in the wind.
Freaking fight me, dude. Jackass. The Chuds probably lived here at one time. As the forest name would suggest, Old Chud bronze plaques aren't hard to find around here. Come across one, however, is a bad omen. After all, they weren't made by Christian hands.
You walk around the windmill and approach the Chud forest. The grim silence envelops you. The only sound you hear is of the fir branches, whispering in the morning fog. Suddenly, you see a swarm of chorts flying out of the side of the building, gleefully throwing around pieces of the windmill's wooden machinery.
Check the debris.
The short swarm dives into the gloom with a chorus of angry screams. As the forest sinks into silence, you inspect the windmill's debris. Among some wooden logs and mechanical parts, you find a small sack of flour and pick it up.
Pinyashkura Ravine. This ravine is famous among Churden's herbalists. It is said you can find a lot of good herbs there, only if you're an expert in this, of course.
While traveling through the woods, you stumble upon a snake's nest. Baby snakes are still inside their eggs. Fortunately, the mother snake does not seem to be around. You make a small wall of stones around the nest and wait for the larger snake to come back. The mother snake soon returns. Seeing the barrier, she fruitlessly tries to get past, but soon leaves. Some time passes, and the snake comes back with a bunch of grass in its mouth. The snake touches the grassy mass to the stone barrier, and the wall instantly collapses. The snake is reunited with its nest. You quickly grab the grass before the snake hides it. It smells of rust. The only noticeable thing about it is the cross shape made by 4 leaves. Fortune has smiled upon you. You have found a break herb, a bundle of aromatic weeds that opens locks and barriers. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way.
Seen the break herb once or twice. A door was locked by accident, so I never came to help and opened it with the break herb. Alright, I guess that's all the places. The Old Windmill. The windmill stands at the border worlds between the village and the forest. It is said that the miller is a Khaldoon himself, but not as strong as old Igor.
The spruce branches part, and an old mill stands before you. This place is filled with legends and stories from the surrounding villages. Those who visited this place at dusk, or worse, at night, speak of dark phantoms in the windows of the mill, of sudden gusts of wind and other devilry. It is what they call a bad place.
Alright, what we got? The backyard.
It's hard to see anything in the dark gloom of the night. Nevertheless, you feel your eyes getting used to the darkness. The black book may be aiding you. Amidst the thick grass, you spot an old axe, its blade covered with rust.
New item. The axe might fall apart at any moment, but it should be good enough for at least one more strike. That might be it. Let's go around this side just to make sure. Oh, nice. A tail pole.
It's a carrier log. It's used to turn the mill. The old wood creaks in the wind. You can climb inside using a log. There is a small hole in the wall. The old windmill is creaking from the cold wind. It is not so often that you see this kind of mill in Cherdyn Uyezd.
Alright, so I got all my encyclopedia pages now, it seems like. Windmills. And perm windmills are a rarer sight than water mills. This is because it is harder to catch the wind than it is to harness the power of running water. Often windmills were built with a moving roof that was operated with a special lever. The wind could be caught just so that the wind blades could begin moving with optimal efficiency. The most effective kind of wind was not the strongest wind, but a moderate wind. Before the revolution, blades were fitted with a special fabric. They were later fitted with plywood. Alright, let me go in. Fight me.
You try to clamber up, but your misstep leads to a painful fall. Another attempt, and you are safe inside.
The grindstones are still, but the blades of the mill are turning. Some kind of will has been placed here by the miller. Spirit thing over there, but...
You study the cabinet. Among various krinkas, old pots, and birch bark containers, you find a sack with silver rubles. It might be of some use to you.
Krinka is a tall earthen vessel used to hold milk or other dairy products. Got one... seems like it's going... might as well be...
Choose to take the money. The miller will hardly miss it.
We're gonna do the bad ending first, I guess. Lord. I keep picking the bad choices. Chest is for various tools used at the mill. You find nothing of interest. Adam's head. The rift. Let me heal myself real quick. Just in case something crazy happens.
A broken block of wood is near the wall. It seems to be part of the windmill's mechanism and the reason why the grindstones are standing still. Through a hole in the wall, you see the woods of Cherdyn.
Sitting in the north of Perm province, they say long ago here lived wide-eyed chewed people. Even today, people find their idols on the fields, lots of churches also. This place is as if enchanted. Oh, yeah. A bunch of those suckers. Oh, that's a big one. What's up, dude?
I expected to see a wretched old man, not a beautiful maiden. Why are you here, then?
And I didn't expect to meet a demon speaking the common tongue. I'm an apprentice witch. Who are you?
Ha! A demon, you say? Oh, you see, maiden, I'm not a common short. I am known as the 13th brother. I am the guardian of the village, the forest, and the secret hidden garden and its heart. I'm also the guardian of this windmill. All of this is me, the unseen master, at your service.
What kind of name is that? The 13th brother?
It is a name whispered through time and across many lands, until it became my name, that is. I will tell you the story if you want to hear it, of course. There is still time until the dawn.
Well, come on then. Tell me. I'm a scholar of evil spirits and the demons of the world.
It is good to meet a sorceress that doesn't immediately hurl herbs and venomous phrases before engaging in the more sophisticated art of conversation. Very well, so you're interested. A long time ago, I had 12 brothers. I was the 13th brother, the youngest. At that time, there was a war, and we were enlisted, you might say. I served under the strongest and most capable commander. He kept me alive, and so I became the last of my brothers, the 13th, and the only one remaining. After all those years, fate has brought me here. Why are you here, then?
Well, what do you want with the windmill, then?
Haven't you figured it out?
No.
Perhaps I was wrong about you. I thought of you to be a strong witch, a master of wit, deduction, and intellect, one endowed with knowledge that others do not possess. I guess not.
The windmill is possessed. But is the demon's presence here as spontaneous as it appears to be? I must think about why he's here in the first place.
I'm gonna say it's a sacrifice. I'm not sure, but we'll give it a try. Escape. Lord.
You were summoned by a sacrifice. You've been here since your creation.
Well, you are knowledgeable indeed. Not to mention, I'm bound to this pitiful miller, but I desire a powerful master. Take me as your servant. My sacrifice will attract someone more agreeable. And you will have both your reward from the miller and the reward of my presence.
Sure.
Well, so be it. I could use a chort like you, if not just for the conversation.
Wait, perhaps you are not
You wanna
as
fight,
strong
bro?
as you seem. There is yet to be such a Khaldun who can outmatch the 13th brother.
Alright, dude. You've done goof now. You're gonna get it. Oh, he is tanky as hell, and he does a lot of damage, actually. Owie. That's all it lasts? Ew. Okay, I can heal whenever in a fight. That's nice. You gotta fight all those things, bro, because this dude would have freaking destroyed me, my guy. He does the fatty damage.
so arrogant? Do you really think you can defeat this ancient spirit?
Hopefully.
My book will help me.
This can't be.
Attack seal a random page. Fill my poison up on this bad boy. He's gonna regret messing with me. Got some pages still, you jackass.
It is a legendary artifact. I never gave up before, and I'm not going to now.
Thought you were gonna be my familiar, bro. What happened to that? That changed like super quick. Bro, your shield is not gonna help you here, because this poison goes through shields, my guy. You've made a terrible mistake. You've underestimated my power. Yeah, he's dead next turn, no matter what he does, I think. Yeah, he's gone. As long as he doesn't heal, it's over, son. Bye! Thought you were gonna be my demon, dude. What happened to that? Well, initiation. Here that says. Complete the prologue. Oh, that was the prologue? Sure. Babushka Serafimushka. Increases the number of keys in the book in the next round by 1, and it heals me. That's pretty good. Boosts negative status effects. That's probably important, honestly. This page remains active for 1 turn and affects other pages. Page effect amplifies by 1 for every other page by the same color. Kinda like that one too. But I think I need this one. You gain a level and grow in power. You're now in the skill selection of the section of the menu. Here you can unlock new magic abilities. You can visit this section through the menu at any time. With each level, you increase your health and gain knowledge points, which are necessary to unlock abilities. As you increase your level more and more, demons will join your swarm. Some abilities unlock automatically at the moment of obtaining a certain level. Knowledge ability. Used per turn by 1. Book handling. Draw an additional order page for each turn. Draw an additional key page each turn. Page creation's cost is reduced by 20%. Towards bring 5 more gold upon job completion. Send 1 chort on a meaningless job. Short specialties and job types are visible. This is damn interesting, bro. There's a lot of stuff going on. You can't really get any of these abilities, right? Khaldun's trick, allowing to change one card with a trump one. Choose from 4 words after the battle. Page creation cost. My lord. Alright, that'll be fine, I think. 666 experience, new level, plus 5 health.
You take the demon into your personal service.
Oh, nice.
He will ask for work, like any other chort. The mill is now without a spirit, but this is none of your concern.
His 13th brother, his favorite occupation is to interfere with the worker peasants, so he knows all about housekeeping and farming. Chapter 1, How to Kidnap from a Banya.
And then he disappeared. He won't be interfering with work at the windmill anymore.
So, you took up a new chort. Hope it doesn't backfire. Well, while you were gone, I had some thoughts about the seals. Every single piece has its meaning, and every seal requires a demon. The second one is the Aspen one. We'll have to think what to do next.
Sylvast.
First seal was opened by touch, and that was all. How do I open the second?
Well, not by simply touching the asp, that's for sure. I think we need evil spirits. So we'll find the Aspen demons.
Where do you think we can find them, Grandfather?
I don't know yet. I'll have to think on it. Go deal with the things you can at the moment, and let me think.
Can't we open the others right away?
I doubt that, but who knows? Look around a bit and maybe you'll fortune upon the right chort.
I see. Time to get to work then.
Uh-oh. The 13th brother?
The chorts are back.
New encyclopedia entry. What's this? Pester with chorts. Old Igor has passed on to you his pester full of chorts. You now have a number of chorts yearning for mischief. Be careful, idle chorts torment their Khaldun master. It takes some time for chorts to do their job, a day or more. Each location has a specific type of job, hunger, strife, corruption, etc. Each chort has a job preference. You can discover it by learning a specific skill. Chorts perform better with their job of choice and worse with the ones they hate. In order for chorts not to torment you and steal your health, don't forget to give them jobs every morning. Okay, let's... Demons at the mill. Wait, I already read that one, I think. Oh, no, I didn't. Not long ago, there was a rich man who lived in the village. He had a water mill. One day he fell ill and found himself at death's door. He told his worker, "Gather 3 horses and take me to the mill, for I will die today." The assistant did as he was told. As he was riding home, he thought to himself, "How did my master know that he would die today?" He called his horses to a stop and rode back to the mill. When he arrived, he peered quietly through the window. What did he see but his master just sitting there crying bitterly? Just then a trapdoor to the cellar opened and 7 little devils emerged. They tore the master's skin open and ate his flesh. Then one of the devils possessed the miller by crawling into the skin that was left over. Wow. After his initiation, a Khaldun receives not only the knowledge of the powers of a sorcerer, he also receives his familiars, imps known as Bess or Chort. To the uninitiated, these demons appear in many different forms, as stained glass, bugs, or other insects. They can also appear as little human-like creatures. With the body of the man, the head of a mouse, the arms of a frog, familiars can be werewolves, cursed men, heretics, the unholy dead, or Kikamarasa. Kikimoros. In the forest, the Khaldun can be aided by werewolves and wedding guests that have been transformed into bears. Werewolves can be distinguished from regular wolves by their eyes, which burn red. A Khaldun's imp familiars must always be occupied by work, or else they will cast curses on people or animals. This is why the Khaldun, to keep them busy, sends his familiars to make ropes out of the sand, count the leaves of the tree, or empty the sea with a teaspoon. That sucks. Events pages give him -1 more. What do you want to do? Spread lichen to the cow. The 13th brother, his favorite occupation is to interfere with the work of peasants, so he knows all about... Okay, sure. Attract a married man. That is like when children starve. Attract a married man to his wife's friend. Lost his eye in a bet with a sinful lot who accepted bribes. Now he hates people even more. Sure, he'd be good for that one. Spoil the rye. Wait, just... Oh, you're perfect for that one. Go ahead, my dude. These all make me evil, though. Is there any of them that don't? Oh, you can send them here so you don't... Okay, yeah, I don't have that right now, though, so... Yeah, I'll just do the evil. This is gonna be my evil run for sure. Alright. That's cool though, it has like little freaking side idle things.
I sent them to perform an arduous task. That's why they weren't around.
Now I should give them tasks?
Well, what did you expect? You knew what you signed up for. Everything has a price. Especially wishes. If you don't want them to torture you, send them to curse people. That's the life of a Khaldun for you.
And if I don't want to curse anyone?
Then suffer. These demons won't leave you alone.
I've seen them before in your Pested. Not often, though.
Now you will see them plenty. You can observe our entire gubernia in your Pested. In the end, you decide what you do with those chores of yours.
Gubernia, a major administrative subdivision of the Russian Empire.
God help us.
Huh.
The moment I became a Khaldun, I saw the Uyezd in a completely different light. There is no such place where a demon wouldn't hide. You just noticed? Your own chores are also a giant pain.
How did you come to be a Khaldun, Grandpa?
Well, told you the other day about the demon stealing Timofey. That's the reason for it. Fighting the pointy-tailed. I heard once that shepherds are no worse. So I became a shepherd boy. Helped Prokopy, the holy fool. I shouldn't mention him at night. Knew his way around the forest, that one, and how to find lost cattle. So I studied under him. Anyway, it's a long story. I'll tell you later how I received my knowledge. It's not like I got it from him, anyway. Had to bust my butt. In any case, see how I managed to teach you. Appreciate that.
I do, Grandpa. What kind of man was he, that Prokopy?
Not a kind man at all, but of great knowledge. Cursed a lot of people. Practically earned a living that nearly cursed me once.
Are shepherds really knowers?
What makes you think they aren't? Why don't you try finding all the cattle in the forest without a demon's help? One has to know how to ask the old man of the forest for help. And in case a demon steals a cow or something, you have to be able to get it back. You'll have to learn. What did you think? Shepherds lie on their backs all day? You wish.
Demons are the one turning the grindstones at the mill.
Well, the miller won't turn them, that's for sure.
Can't the wind spin them? Do you have to use demons everywhere? It's dangerous, and a sin to boot.
Well, what did you expect? It will soon be the 20th century. The demons might make it easier. If they can start making flour, who knows? Maybe we can teach them to reap, too. You've heard of steam engines, huh? I think there's a steam chart inside, like the one you can find in a samovar.
How did you manage your own chores?
Nothing to it, really. Just give them something to do. The only thing is they can't manage every task well. Their job is to wreak havoc. They don't like any other sort.
New Belichica. Little man. Once we asked a Khaldun to show us his imps. He was nice and drunk. It was around Moslintha time. He waved at us. I'll show you, but don't be frightened. Each had on blue short pants and red shirts. They stood in a line like little men, about 70 centimeters tall. They didn't walk, but hopped about, and when the Khaldun gave an order, the wind started to howl. I'll send them to the forest to count the needles on the pines, and when they're needed, I'll call out, and the wind will blow them back to me, he sighed bitterly. The imps ask incessantly for work. What work? It's absurd. Once I took them to mow. Come to it the next morning, the grass was waist high again. The true calling is to cast curses on people, but the more you curse, the more imps you get. It's torture. Alright. Huh. Old-timey picture. Let's see. Silva Aspen. Vanquish evil spirits to unlock new knowledge. Interesting. Okay. Talk to me, people. What you need?
Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Fyodorovna, it's me again. Came to give my thanks. The spirits have stopped haunting us.
Nice.
Here's what I promised.
The miller inherited this mortar. By the looks of it, it's far too old of a thing to not be enchanted. Herbs and healing Zangavers restore +1 heart.
The spirits, however, took the money I saved for my grandson's books. Well, it is what it is.
Sorry, man.
Did you study your black pages or not? I'm the one with the aching bones here. Damn knowers. All you can do is lance boils. I'm off to work.
Good riddance. Don't give yourself a hernia. Some people.
You got a fancy hat.
Be well and live long. My godmother sends a jug of milk and sends her regards.
Kolya, is that you?
Hello, old Igor.
So, you're back.
Yeah, it's been at least a week.
Some kind of curse mark.
You sure have grown tall. How tall are you, exactly? 12 vershoks?
The archaic Russian unit of length equal to approximately 4.4 centimeters. The saying that a man is 12 vershaks high, gosh dang it, means that the height is 2 arshins and 12 vershaks, which is about 2 meters.
Well, what brings you here?
I heard about your man, Vasilisa. It's hard to lose loved ones, I know. However, I'm here for another reason. I need your help. Yesterday evening, at a get-together, I made a bet with the lads. They dared me to enter Banya at night.
A traditional Eastern Slavic bathhouse with a wood stove.
I don't believe all this supernatural stuff you see. When you go to war, you see things you know. I entered this old Banya, the abandoned one, by the river. It was around midnight. I opened the door and saw a sort of blue light, and it was quiet. I reached into the stove, You know, to take a stone. They wouldn't call me chicken if I showed them proof later. Suddenly, a hairy paw grabbed my left hand. Here, look, left a mark.
Bannock. So Bannock was the master of the Banya in which he resided. He could help or protect a man, but also scare or even kill him. It was important to perform rituals correctly and be careful not to violate any taboos. In the various villages of Churdan Uyazid, it was forbidden to use the Banya during the first or third heating or when drunk. The man could suffocate or burn himself to death. Events that were considered to be punishment of the Bannock. A man could also fall into the hearth. Constructed of rough-hewn stones, later constructed of bricks. Sometimes banyas caught on fire, so people built them far from their izba, or even on a riverbank. Peasants often gave birth to children in banyas, so there was always a risk of a devil replacing their baby with an aspen log or a broom. Jesus. Baby thieves. Can we get out of here?
That devil didn't let me go. All of a sudden, some female voice said, "Marry me." The hand was hot as fire, and then I just lost it, and it kept on asking. And she still held on to me, wouldn't let go, so I told her I would.
Oh.
Then she let me go. I ran as fast as I could. Damn this demonic power. You're a knower. Help me, would you?
Nikolai visited the Banya at midnight, and something grabbed him. What might that be?
That's a Rusalka. I mean, according to this, it's a Bannock, but I don't know what the other one is. But see, it says a Bannock is a man. I don't know. Say it's a Bannock.
In the Banya, you say? Well, that's a Bannock, all right.
Lord Almighty.
So its hand was hairy. What else did you notice?
I couldn't see anything. It was completely dark. The hand was black and hairy.
What did you do with the stone?
Well, I took it with me. To prove to them I wasn't yellow. Didn't tell about the demon, though. Dropped it off at home later. I told my godmother, and she sent me here right away.
Ah, wise woman, your godmother.
All right, I won't leave you to the wolves.
Vasilisa, take a closer look at the demon. This Banyak may have an aspen seal on her. Go to the old Banya tonight, both of you. Talk to the demon and find out why she wants to marry you. You, Kolya, use this balm on your left eye to see the demons. Don't forget the stone, Kolya.
I'll wait for you outside. Didn't think I'd be seeking help from nowheres. I've always depended only on myself. My military service? Well, it's quite a story. Maybe later.
Knock, knock.
Hey, Vasya, they say you're a knower now. This may be of interest to you then. The other day we were gathering berries by Kajil Lake. By the way, I have brought you some. It's near Zapolsk. Anyway, we came across this clearing with holes everywhere. The horror! So I thought you might want to go there. Who knows? Perhaps there are evil spirits.
Sir, wait a second. You now have the ability to take your companions along on your travels. Each helper has a unique ability you can make use of in battle. Presence or absence of certain helpers affects outcomes of in-game events. Help with the demoness in the Banya. Your visitor promised the Bath demoness that he would marry her. Set forth to the old Banyas with Nikolai to talk with the spirit. Forest grove by our Izba. The old forest that grows near our Izba makes people ill at ease, as does everything else nearby for that matter. Right.
You notice a black silhouette on the road. It appears to be shrouded in fog, and is hard to distinguish in the soft lighting of the night. The air is filled with a strange song performed by the demon. You've never heard this melody before. A chill runs down your spine as you listen to the alien melody. The devil continues his song. You listen, holding your breath and not moving. Soon, the melody stops, crashes against the tops of the fir trees, and dissolves in moonlit silence. You feel that perhaps now you understand demonkind somewhat better. Suddenly, a magic circle shimmers at the demon's feet. A moment later, another devil appears by his side. His burning eyes are staring right at you.
Sick. Bring it, dude. What's he doing? Summon more evil spirits, so I gotta kill him. Because if I don't kill him, he's just gonna summon more of these suckers, so... What's he do? Yeah, backhand, dude. Well, he's dead for sure next turn. Oh, maybe not. I should have used Bless first, that's where I messed up at. I'm learning. I'm learning. Moves positive status, that's fine. Dead. Alright, now we try to kill this guy, I guess. What happened to my poison spells, bro? I haven't drawn those in a hot minute, feels like. Alright, he's dead. And we just gotta kill this sucker. I probably could have backhanded him this turn, but I didn't think about it. he's the only choice. I guess that makes sense. Boom. I like this one, I think. What's this do? The page remains active, just gives defense. Good. Money. Salka Backwaters. Wasalka's Backwaters, this picturesque backwater got its name because of the mermaid sightings back in the day. I've never seen any myself, though.
You notice a strange sight in the distance. A ball of snakes is rolling around the woodland road, scales glittering in the moonlight. Nikolai grins and picks up a large stone. He throws it right at the snake ball. Most of the snakes scatter, but some of the enraged creatures slither your way. Luckily, you find some healing herbs near the overturned stone.
Snakes, huh? Oh, Lord. Poison. Oh, Lord. Huh. Kill the weaker one first, I guess. It's not a key? That sucks. I thought that was a key. Ah, I got that thing that gets rid of negative elements if I draw it, which I did not. Okay, sick. Actually. I think that's right. I think that'll work. Let's see what we do here. See how this works. Nice. Yeah, poison is bad, okay? And I literally got that one thing to deal with poison. I have not drawn it yet. I would like to draw the thing that deals with negative status elements, please and thank you. Oh, now I get it. Sick. Lock. This page remains active for 3 turns and affects other pages. Yeah. 3 damage to all enemies. That seems really good. Parapolo. This page remains active for 1 turn. Increases value in words. I don't know what that means. We'll just go with this one. It's AoE. AoE seems good. These are the crossroads where my recent initiation took place. It is surely a place where both roads and human fates intersect. Nice.
Near the old gravestones, you see a demon. His eyes are focused on the sky. It seems that he is in deep thought. He merely sighs when he notices you.
Oh, it's you. I remember you falling into hell.
What a talkative chort.
Well, what's so special about that? Me, I flew out of hell and decided to stay for a while. Help me find an answer to a question, and I'll reward you, witch.
Sure.
Well, sure. Ask away.
I'm searching for an answer. What are the 3 kinds of dates?
A romantic one.
You go out on a date with your loved
Yep.
one.
Well, that's one. What are the other 2?
What are the 3 dates? You have one with a loved one, and the
Fruit's a
second one
date.
is... There's an exotic fruit called a date.
Seems right. What is the 3rd one?
What are the 3 dates? You guess one, the kind with a loved one, and also the
day.
fruit. What's the 3rd one? A calendar date.
It sure seems obvious now. So, you are knower.
Yep, I know things.
Here you are. A treasure for your efforts. Well, I guess I have to get back to hell before they miss me.
The demon disappears into flames. You continue on your journey.
What is cantillation, dude? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Traveling herbalist. A famous herbalist appeared in the parts. I should check out the herbs she has for sale. Sure.
What? Want some pranics? I've sold everything already. Oh, you want some herbs? Well,
Pranic.
take a look then.
A variety of traditional sweet baked goods in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and some other neighboring countries. God. It is poisonous. One time my crow ate a reserve, but then it died. Why would I want that? I don't know if I'm crying herb removes one harmful status. This one I might need actually. I'm gonna take that one just in case. Don't know what they use this herb for. I'm no herbalist. Oh, that's good enough. I've wasted a lot of money here already. Herbs are expensive, bro. Yazova village. Good people live in this small village on the Tistovka River. They often visit to get advice from old Igor. Not once have they asked to curse anyone. Oh, these are the homies then. Good people.
Like a gloomy skeleton of an unknown beast, the old remains of a burnt house stand before you. All the logs are charred black. Some of them have collapsed and are covered with moss. Only the white stove gleams in the moonlight, still intact, even after the fire.
Step inside.
You take several steps inside
Oh, fuck
the
yeah.
hut. You suddenly hear a crack, and one of the burnt boards falls on your head. It's hard to tell who used to live in this izba. You step inside, and you seem to sense the smell of burnt wood. Stars and pine branches are visible above instead of a roof. Suddenly, you notice a shaggy figure near the furnace. As soon as you make a move towards the mysterious figure, it disappears. A ball of baked clay lies where the black spirit once was. You take it with you.
Take the clay. Applies 5 armor on the first turn. This piece of clay contains the warmth of the hearth and care of invisible family spirits. Heal me. As for health, replace that one with this. Replace that with this. Boom, upgraded, baby. Trinity Church. You can always pray and rest in Vilgoth's church. The priest there is a good fellow. He doesn't accept bribes, nor is he much of a drinker.
You see a friendly flame burning in the distance. You come closer, and soon you are standing in front of a lonely church. Inside it is warm and cozy. It smells of incense and old wooden sculptures. Soon you hear a calm voice.
Greet the Abe.
So, you wandering at night again, Vasilisa. Be careful on the road you travel. It can lead you to places no one can help you out of.
That threat? Oh lord, I wish I would have bought these. Gain 2 piety on the start of battle. Reduces your tournaments from chords by 1. Waste restores health instead of dealing damage. Do not want to do that. Increases attack of each page for 5. That seems really good. We made spells over cattles on Even's Day. Waste restores. I read that one. Herbs and healing Zangavars restore +10. Increases well-versed effect of. I'm gonna sell this for sure. Ah, dang, what a ripoff, dude. Scammer. Buy this one, I think. Alright, escape.
I have a feeling that you've had a hard time getting to our church. A real hard time.
You read a prayer and rest a bit.
Health restored. Sick.
Goodbye, Holy Father.
Oh, look at there. There's a cursed ravine. Let's go up there. I want to change that one item first, though, that I just bought. Where'd my item... Did it break, dude? I bought it. That sucks. What the hell? Oh. Oh, it's a... Oh, not what I thought it was. Waste. Waste. Oh, well. The Cursed Ravine. This ravine is... Or curved ravine. This ravine is curved, hence its name. Plenty of misfortunes happen all around this place. Leshy's work, aye, an ill place this is. Yeah, I guess that would be OP, though, if it was, like, continuous 5 damage.
You approach the open rift. Dried bushes are sticking out of its walls like the rotten teeth of a dead man. You carefully look down. Suddenly, the forest around you is lit by a strange red light. As you look up, you see a fiery ball zigzagging through the sky. Your words are lost among the tree branches. The fiery ball flies away, and everything is silent again.
Bridge to the Banyas. The Banyas aren't far away. This road is a rather old one, neglected as it is.
There's a rotting bridge over a small river, a tributary of the Kolva. In the moonlight, you discern a strange silhouette on the other side of the bank. You take several steps towards the silhouette, but it disappears in the morning mist. A chill runs down your spine.
Koya is an old Permian word, an old riverbed. I can get to the old Banyas through here, but who knows what lurks in these parts at night. I don't know. We'll find out, though.
Night travels are not the most convenient ones. In the darkness, you can stumble upon any kind of evil spirits. This is precisely what happens now. You step into a silent meadow where a demon is drinking tea from a samovar. You step into a silent meadow where a demon is drinking tea from a samovar. He notices you and invites you to join him. You drink the tea in silence, with the demon's glowing eyes fixed upon you. You feel uneasy and try to finish the drink as soon as possible. Suddenly, you feel a metallic taste in your mouth. Looking inside the cup, you discover that you've been drinking blood. The laughing demon disappears, along with its samovar.
called Jill Lake. In the forest near Lake Culture, some boys from Milgort spotted a strange clearing. They say it's full of dug-up pits. Maybe someone was looking for something. I should investigate. Sure.
Dark pine branches move to the sides, and you see a meadow strewn with old, overgrown pits. You come closer and look into one of them. The green of the meadow drops into the open maw of the pit, from which you sense the cold of the grave. God knows who dug them up, and why. You start to inspect the pits one by one. You take one careless step and tumble down. Luckily, the pit is not that deep, and you climb out with ease. You frequently look around. You feel as if someone is watching you. You almost decide to give up finding anything in these mysterious pits when you notice an old grave at the bottom of one of them. A grim pit is filled with a damp stench. You see an old cross covered with a rotten towel. Near the grave, there is a small pot with an offering to the dead.
Break the Golbits.
The old cross is covered with moss.
Student achievement.
And mushrooms grow at its foot. You feel uncomfortable near the grave of the unclean dead.
Alright, what's to say? Golbit's gravestone. A Golbit is a gravestone shaped like an izba, a traditional Russian countryside dwelling. In ancient times, the dead were buried in a small house without any windows. This is why coffins are referred to in some northern dialects of Russian as houses, or houses for the dead. In northern Russia, a gravestone in the shape of a cross, sometimes topped with a schematic of a roof, was called a Golbitz. The roof helped to protect the cross from rain. In the southern regions of the Russian Empire, a pseudo-roof was set atop ritual crosses or atop crosses that were placed near crossroads. On the day of the Pentecost, the souls of stillborn infants who died before baptism and those who died unnatural deaths were believed to appear atop the crosses. What's my health at before I die? Take the offering!
Caught by the gravestone, you find a couple of gold coins, which you quickly pocket.
Nice.
But it seems to have disturbed the dead man. Suddenly, a white spirit rises from the grave.
Fight me, heathen. He hits hard, actually. I'm just gonna go for the burst because I think, wait, what the heck? He takes 0 damage. All attacks miss this creature. Duration, oh, well that sucks. Does that miss? No. We'll take that one at least. Bad demon. How long does this last? 3 turns? I don't know, dude. Try to hit him anyways. Bad news bears, bro. Just in case he decides to hit even harder next turn, I'm gonna be ready. I can actually hit him back next turn though, so that's exciting. Oh yeah, you're not ethereal anymore, dude. It's over. You're done, son. Unless you cast it back. Nope. Not looking good for our boy over here. Rest in peace, my dude. Once and forever, this page blah 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 amplifies its power by 2 for each. Oh, that'd be really cool if I had a bunch of them. Page effect amplifies by 1 for every other page of the same. That's a pretty good one, but I think I'll take this one. New level acquired. Huzzah! Alright, let's see. My black book over here. I didn't know you full healed when you leveled up, but that's nice, I guess. That's only if I want to do something good. This is better. Alright, exit. Near the farmstead of the rich peasant Zablowski, a small village of sorts emerged. It doesn't have a name of its own yet, so everyone calls it Zablowski. No much of a village name, if you ask me.
You hear a familiar voice. Young folk are having an evening gathering, although it's not the best season for it.
Hi, Vasya! I know you have no time, but sing at least one song with us, for old time's sake!
Sure.
All right, but just one.
You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song.
Oh, that's cool as heck. Popping off, dude. Yes, that's it. Oh, my friends. There you go. That's the whole song. We got it. Great. Soundtrack acquired. Anywhere else to go? I don't believe so. Let's go! Boss fight. Small bonfire by the riverbank. Bonfires are prone to fires. People stoke the flames too hard at times. That's why they're often built on riverbanks nowadays. Some of these bonfires are abandoned. Small barrel once held water.
Here at last. And all these demons in these parts, I had never thought.
Evil spirits have always been here, but you won't be able to see them without me. These chorts harm people, but nobody can even see them.
Enemies here as well. No place is safe these days, I guess. I've been thinking, why did the spirit attack me? Someone must have been there before me.
Well, first of all, it was nighttime. and evil is strongest at night. Besides, why did the evil spirit attack Nikolai?
Didn't ask permission, I would think.
Bannock sure love their rituals. You didn't ask to be let in, did you?
No, I didn't. I just walked in.
Well, there you have it. The spirit took notice of that right away.
You don't say.
The banya has sunk a little. That's why it got stuck, I think. You're a strong fellow. You open it.
I can do that, sure. But could you put Zagavor or something on me so no one grabs me?
Wait here. I'll look around first.
Oops, sorry.
Here it is. The old Banya. The things it saw during its lifetime.
The last encyclopedia entry for this place. Where'd it go? Banya. Banya. Ensured in the Banya was one of the most important fixtures of the estate. People washed themselves in their clothes in the Banya, as well as cured themselves, gave birth, made divinations, and conjured. The Banya brought health, but it was both clean and unclean. Childbirth left the filth of original sin, which had to be washed away and cleansed with holy water. Young people often organized Yuletide gatherings and games in the Banya, sometimes formed couples. If during the often cruel Yuletide games, none of the men stood up for a girl, she was considered to be the same as the old maid in the premarital hierarchy. Give me that herb. My herb now. Adam's head. I need that. The old door. The Banya sure sinks low. The door's stuck. Alright, dude, go open it for me. I need your man muscles.
Well, is it time?
It is. It is time.
All right. I know just the thing. Stand still.
Wham! God, he's so strong. All the shelves have rotted through. What kind of trips me out is you gotta walk around a little bit, or certain things don't appear until you do it.
Let me, kind Bannock, pay a visit to your home. Repeat after me, Kolya.
Let me host Bannik.
Now, let's think of what to do with this bride of yours. She's been waiting for us, I suppose. That blue light has been shining here, right until we came in. Let's summon her and ask some questions.
All right. You are the knower here.
First, let us prepare. In order for the Bannock to know we're here, let's heat up the stove. And that stone that you took, put it back.
It's better if you do it. I sort of forgot how when serving in the army.
Really? Very well. I'll draw a circle to be safe. I don't think your bride is evil, though.
Better safe than sorry, Vasa.
After that, we'll step into the circle. I'll read a special spell, and just like that, she should appear.
Vasa, you are a knower, no doubt about it.
And that's it.
Well, let's get to work.
I think we're good to go.
Well, is it time?
It is.
Yes, it is, Kolya. As soon as I start reading, the demon will appear. If If you step out of the circle, she'll strangle you.
All right, I get it. I'll stand still.
Here we go. Bannock, my hostess, let us wash in steam.
Uh-oh. Huh. Step out of the circle, my dude. Oh.
Wait. Don't run. Hear me out.
Jesus and his troops!
Don't move. Let me talk with this Bannock.
Wait. I'm not a demon.
Oh.
I'm an ordinary girl.
An ordinary girl, you say? Bannock says that she's but an ordinary girl. Is it a demonic trick? What is she then?
I don't know. Oh, she could be a changeling. Yeah, she can't be a Bonnick because she's a female. I don't think she's a demon either. I'm gonna say she's a changeling. I'm gonna assume.
If you're not a demon, you must be a changeling.
Yes, yes. You're truly a knower.
Oh my god, I know everything apparently.
Well, it is as I
Oh,
said.
my back.
I've been living in the world of demons for a long, long time. 18 years. I've grown to resemble them. I was still a child and came to wash with my mother. I did something wrong. I can't remember what, but my mother said, "Devil take you." And so, an Abdiricha took me.
Who? What? Hold on. An Abdika is the mistress of Abanya. She can be the wife of a Bonnick, and usually behaves the same way as he does, punishing those who visit the Banya at the wrong time. It is believed that an Obderic uses her cause to skin such people. This is the origin of her name, which if translated literally means skinner. Her appearance can vary. She can appear as a woman or as a child. Most often, however, she appears as a woman with long hair, large teeth, and big eyes, with claws and horns. She was often depicted as a cat with big eyes or as an inanimate object. Oh, that's what got my old dude here.
Help me, Vasilisa. You're my only hope.
Yeah, I got you.
Where have you been all this time?
We wandered the Banyas. I got sent where the stove was hot. Such was my life. Now we live in this old one.
Do you know anything about Aspen demons?
No, I don't. But I can ask the Abdiricha.
How do we bring you back?
To escape her, I need to get closer to the mortal
By marrying
world.
him.
Bring me a good belt and a cross, the kind that's worn on the skin, and find me a name. Then the Abdiricha will have to marry me to someone. You, young fellow, don't you let me down. Only you can do it.
I will help. I promise you my word.
What kind of cross do you need?
Just any cross won't do. I've been living with evil spirits for too long. I need one that's been worn by a demon.
Well, that's a puzzle. Where can we find a God-fearing chort?
Oh, I don't know. Your friend is a knower. You'll think of something.
We can give you the name right away.
No,
Thumbelina.
that won't do. The name has to be one from Sviatsi and given by a priest.
Sviatsi, a spiritual book containing names of the saints in connection to calendar days. Sviatsi were consulted to name a child.
Where can we find the belt?
I need a special belt.
You need a special
as well.
everything.
It has to be woven by a skilled witch.
All right, we'll help you. It's wrong to abandon a Christian soul. Besides, you already have a groom.
Of course we'll help.
Thank you. Bring me a cross worn by a demon, a name, and a belt crafted by a witch. I think I hear the roosters. I need to go. Come back again with the gifts. I'll be waiting. Until we see you again.
The demon crawls back under the bench and disappears into black flame. You return to Old Yegor's house and think about what to do next.
New Belichka. Whatever that means. What is Belichka again? Oh, this. Banix 1L3. Oh, the Banya. It's not such a simple place. First, there's the master of the Banya with whom you can bargain, but there are other wonders as well. One time a soldier came to the village. He thought it was time he started a family, but all his peers had already married, so that there were just widows and young girls left unmarried. The former soldier started to do all sorts of things to show off his strength. One time he lifted a house with his bare hand and threw his cap underneath. Another time he cleaved a pile of wood with one strike. So the villager said to him, "Go and fetch a stone from the Banya where no one dares to go, and where a light burns at night. We will know then that you're not afraid of anything. But you must go at midnight." They made a deal. It was so frightening to go at midnight, but he went anyway. And there was indeed a light burning. This is our dude here that we're talking about. Okay. Huh. So he's strong.
But she needs a cross that was worn by a demon, a human name, and an enchanted belt. Then she hid under the bench.
What a job you have. Worse than fighting the Turks.
This is our destiny. A changeling, that bride of yours.
What's a changeling?
The Bath spirit must have switched her at birth, I imagine. Now, Vasilisa, can you guess how shall we lift the Aspen Seal?
What demon is necessary for the book to open the Aspen Seal?
What was the question? What demon is necessary? Oh Lord, I have no idea. Okay, sure. Thought he was already done. He is done. Okay. Knowledge. Let's see, what am I missing here? I don't know. I'm gonna say...
The Aspen demons may live in the woods. We'll search for them there.
Oh, well.
You could find the wood demon in the forest, but it would take quite some time. I wouldn't know where to start.
Damn, that's my
the
first one.
Abdiricha, on the other hand, might have given us the right kind of demon years ago. The changeling is what we need for the seal. The changeling from the ethereal world. These infants don't grow up, as you know. The question is, should we waste our time on the bride's requests if we ourselves can find this changeling?
We can't abandon a Christian soul to evil spirits.
That's his future wife, bro.
If I were you, I'd think whether I should take a demon for a wife.
Only a devil will marry a soldier like me.
We haven't heard of such a child up until now. This means that the parents keep it secret.
Right. The demon might have gobbled up her parents. Without that demon bride, we won't find it.
You'll help me then?
We will. But what should we start with? Huh? What was it she asked for?
Cross.
A cross worn by a demon. Such a thing possible?
Everything is possible, Vasilisa, if you think about it. I heard that an Ikotnitsa appeared in Yenidor recently. Go there and take her cross.
Then I'll start with the cross. What could be more important?
In Yanidor, you'll find Evdokia Fokovna. They say her daughter was possessed by Ikota.
Yanidor, a village north of Churden. Whatever this is. A man possessed by a demon called an Ikota. Such people have strange abilities and in some cases the gift of divination.
So, did you get all that?
Who is that Ikotka?
Come on, don't you remember? This one time, a woman from Pokcha came to us, so that we could whisper some zagovors over her. And then a chort, size of a vershok, escaped from her.
Oh, so that was an Ikotnitsa.
Well, yes, this Ikota chort talked with us for a bit, remember?
I really don't like dealing with the possessed.
Well, nothing can be done about that. So, did you get all that?
Where can we find that woman in Yenidor?
Her house is closer to the edge of the village, the one with carved gates. So, did you get all that?
What not to get? Go to the Ikotnitsa and take her cross. What was that with the stove? As if I'd believe that you forgot how to kindle it. And then you got a bit too scared when the demon girl grabbed you with the fire.
It is as you say, Vaisa. It's not about the stove. I don't know what's wrong with me. There was this one incident. Since then, I'm not myself when I see any fire. I'm scared of it something awful. That's exactly the reason why the lads dared me to go to the banya. They heard the rumors and wanted to have a bit of fun at my expense. Only I'm not one to give up so easily.
But why? What's wrong with fire?
Oh, it's a long story.
So how did you end up a soldier?
Well, they took me as a recruit. You were just a kid then and don't remember much about it, I gather. Old Yegor just took you in after your parents.
Well, when you went into the service, was it by your own choice?
Aye, by choice. To be honest, some other lad drew the lot, but we have a large family. And I'm a hot-headed guy.
Right, and a fine one.
Quite right. It was my decision. I made my way to my field regiment, and they sent us to fight the Turks.
Did they give you your cross there?
Aye. That's a different story. I'll tell it later.
Do you plan to marry that girl or not?
Let's help her first, won't we? She must be a strong girl to pull through that sort of thing. Maybe God sent her.
A demon? Sent by God?
Well, she said she was a changeling, didn't she? The girls of my age are all married. Who would marry an old soldier anyway? Only a demon.
About the fire. Would it take very long to tell the story?
Maybe not that long. Anyway, don't be such a bath broom. I'll tell you some other time. Don't you have anything else to do?
Bro, dude. I don't understand. I don't get it. I ain't playing that no more. Waste of time.
Vasilisa, listen. Thank you for your help with the banya.
Don't thank me yet. We still need to free the girl.
It's just that I wouldn't be able to go at all if it weren't for you. Here, I want to give you this. Here, take it.
Gain 1 eloquence black on battle start.
What's that? A deck of playing cards or something?
Sure is. Been saving them for some time. They are antique, but first class. I'll teach you to play if you wish.
They say the devil himself is not averse to a good game of Durak.
I don't get it. Because I get the part. It doesn't matter. Waste of time.
Get out of here, you meddling kids, or you'll get it!
Run! He saw us!
Wait, maybe they're here on business. Well, speak up.
Oh, Vasilisa! We saw such a scary thing! West of Yenidor, there's a scary isba. Evil spirits live there for sure!
Why do you say that?
See for yourself. They say there used to be a party every day, but now it stands silent as the grave. Saw it for ourselves.
Well, you'll wind up in graves yourselves if you go wandering like that.
Run!
All right. I heard that the peddlers set up a small fair. I think some of the traders are working even at this late hour.
At the crossroads of two trade routes, you see the annual fair. Despite the late hour, trading is still taking place. Perhaps you might buy something for your journey. A multitude of goods can be found. Prianics, as well as a variety of magic trinkets. There's something for everyone here.
What kind of wisdom do you possess? That which comes from above, or that of snakes and demons?
Increases the number of orders in the book. In the next round by 1. I'm good actually. Never mind.
Low prices, come and see for yourself. Buy some herbs and other goods I've brought for you from the woods.
Seems that this knife is stained. Your first Zangivar always has old knife page. 1 damage to all enemies. Enemy attacks deal 1 less damage. Cannot use herbs for 2 turns. Here it is. Spike status. Gain 1 prayer on battle start. Replenishes 5 health at the start of the battle. Increases sword in words for 2. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I don't need that. I don't need any of that, honestly. Alright, let's get out of here. But I do want to equip that one thing I just... Oh, I got a new thing to read. Okay. A second. Oh, I struggle to get through these pages. This element introduced by a Koldun or a witch is a representative of the Russian North, specifically the Cherdun, Ugazed, and Komi Perm region. An evil spirit is enchanted with word power, bound to a name and cast into the wind. The first person it encounters who bears this name becomes its victim. Sometimes stones or insects are enchanted with Ikota. In this way, whoever happens to trip over these stones or swallow the insect by accident suffers Ikota. Ikota usually takes the appearance of an animal, a frog, a lizard, or a mouse. Occasionally it takes the form of a frog spawn, and more rarely an insect, a fly, a spider, or mosquito. It is not, however, always brought on by a Koldun. It may pass from a Koldun to any person, any man in the event of the Firmer's death. When inside a person, Ikota can speak with all kinds of voices. Okay, cool. Turchin Road runs from Vilgor to Yanador. I don't know the reason for the name. Nikolai says it was to honor the Turks. Okay.
You wander off course and walk onto the road more to the west than you had planned. you stumble upon a ragged man with rotten teeth and rotten eyes. You realize that it's a brigand. Traveling by night in Perm Gubernia is dangerous, and not only because of the evil spirits. The silence is broken by his hoarse voice.
Oh.
Hey, what do we have here? A girl or something? Right. I'll let you go if you give me all your money.
Psych.
It seems to me you can't see so well in the dark. I'm not traveling alone.
Come on over here, brigand boy. I fought the Turks, went toe-to-toe with demons, but your kind are the filthiest of all.
Looking upon the tall soldier, the brigand loses his confidence. He backs away and runs into the woods. In a hurry, he dropped his pouch. You go on your way.
That's what I thought, dude. Forests are always dangerous, both day and night. Each forest has its own master. Rarely do these masters welcome unwanted visitors.
Near a small forest creek, you find a grassy meadow. Among other vegetation, you see one beautiful flower. It's blood red and bright even in the moonlight. You come closer and tie its stem with a silver thread. With a swift pull, you now have a new, valuable herb, Adam's Head. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way.
I heard about an old house west of Yanador from the local boys. Maybe I can find something worthwhile there. Maybe.
Fir branches poke into the empty windows of an abandoned hut. You are overcome by an unpleasant feeling. There's a good reason they call this place haunted. You squeeze into a slightly open door and clear away the cobwebs. It is dark and empty here. The dead silence gives you chills. You step inside the house and freeze in horror. Under the broken red corner lies a dead man's body. A broken accordion lies nearby, torn as if by a wild beast. You search the dead man and the izba. The former has a pouch with some rubles inside. You tell about the dead man in the nearby village and use the money to pay for his burial and a funeral service. Peasants tell you that several years ago, someone took this skillful musician to an evening gathering during the dead of night. He hadn't been seen since.
I heard a hermit lived in these woods of Basquiat origin. A handy fellow, he decorated doors and stoves and could do a lot of other things. He died a while ago, but people still remember him.
You walk through the forest. Grim trees hang from all sides, and strange noises are coming from the dark of the night. You freeze with fear when you notice two demons near an unearthed grave. They have already opened the coffin and are methodically skinning the dead body. Overcoming disgust, you open the black book. The first Zagavar will be yours.
Forest demons. Big hit, boy. All right. dead. Now expand cantillation. This page effects amplified by blah blah. Continue.
Having dealt with the demons, you look around. A narrow trail stretches from the grave to the forest. You remember hearing about this place. This overgrown trail leads to an old cemetery.
The cemetery is far from Yenador, and that's why it's not used anymore. There's a new one closer to the village, all the better for me to safely conduct business.
You know about a cemetery nearby, and decide to visit it. The tombstones that stand among the trees are enveloped in a gray fog. You look around, expecting an ambush, but everything is eerily quiet. You're in luck. The grave diggers have recently dug up a grave. It stands open, black and hungry, yet unoccupied. You scoop a small amount of fresh cemetery dirt into a sack and whisper some Zagavers. This soil will make your witchcraft stronger. You walk around the overgrown cemetery and look at the grave crosses while thinking of all the deaths that made this city of the dead. Who knows? Maybe Ikotniks were around in earlier times. Maybe some are buried here.
First mention of Ikota occurred in 1785 when Bishop Viniamin of Archangelsk and Kolmogorsk, in his address to the Synod, described his ailment as a special kind of evil eye possession. Also in his address, the cleric connected Ikota to the beliefs of the ancient nation of Chud, which was situated along the shores of the Pinega River and worshipped pagan gods. In 1862, an uprising took place in Pinega and Mizan, during which an angry mob burned down several houses where it was believed Kolduns dwelled who brought Ikota upon local women. Okay, sure.
You pray for the repose of the souls that lie in this cemetery. The night is silent. You calm down and rest a bit.
You can get to the swamps from the east via this bridge, conveniently called the Eastern Bridge. They say people hear strange noises at night over there. I should check it out. And check it out we shall.
You hear a whip crack. Shrieking in pain, some unfortunate soul is being driven to hell by a devil. You pause in hesitation. Is this sinner's soul worth a fight? Sure. You call out to the devil. Both the enemy and the sinner turn their burning eyes towards you. It turns out that the sinner is one of the demons. You hold the black book close and prepare for a fight.
Oh, look at that big piggly boy. Alright. I keep forgetting to do that dude's attacks because it's separate and kind of weird. Seven. Oh, he's dead. I forgot that dude has an attack still. He dead. He big dead, bro. Alright. Boom. No, I don't need that. That'll be good enough. Stephen Stone. This ravine is home to a holy stone. The people of Yenador say that Stephen of Pern himself left his mark on that stone. Let's see it.
In the shady ravine lies a great stone. It has the mark of a foot on its top that's filled with morning dew. There are quite a few candles around it. Here and there you notice offerings from the peasants of Yanidor.
Drink the dew.
You drink the holy water and feel a surge of strength and confidence.
Those are stored. Nice. The swamps. Near the village of Yanador, where there lie the beautiful Leuven swamps. It's dangerous there. Old Igor says that the demons dwell in these swamps. It means that I can catch them for my book. Nice.
You see a swamp ahead. The damp soil squishes under your feet. You become cold and uncomfortable. Suddenly, a white ghost of a calf appears from the bog. It looks at you and does not move. You read a protective Zagavar, and the ghost disappears. When you finish your sorcery, you realize that this calf was, in fact, a treasure. Striking it would make the calf fall apart into coins. You notice the burning eyes of demons nearby. Are they guardians of this treasure?
I'm oh well. Yeah, every time, bro. They hit hard. Alright. Oh hell, he ain't gonna do. I messed that up. Wow. I'm taking unnecessary damage. Stop it. I'm below half HP. I am in danger. Just see how much this heals me for with the well-versed thing going on. I'm just curious. Oh, only one? Sick. Let's see. Boost positive status effects while versed. Okay, I don't think I need that. Boom. Let me heal. Just in case something wild happens. Yenador, willful people live in this village. Some of the peasants were compelled to work the Pohodician plants, but they revolted as it was too far away and inconvenient to work there. Sure.
Yanidor is covered with a bright pre-dawn mist. Amidst the hollow silence, you hear sounds of the village waking up. With old Yegor's directions, you quickly find the house of Yevdakia Fokovna. Nikolai knocks on the carved gates, and you are soon greeted by the hostess.
Yevdakia Fokovna, God bless.
God bless.
God bless indeed. And who might you be?
We've come to speak to your daughter.
Ha! Came to make fun of my Akulina. I won't let you. Leave us alone.
Aquilina. Alright. Ekotniks. Those possessed by Ekota were called Ekotniks. At one time, there were so many people suffering from this strange malady that some scientists thought Ekota to be hereditary. Women succumbed to Ekota more frequently, and it sometimes passed from one housewife to another, dissolving into a kind of mass hysteria. Old believers treated Ekota rather violently without the aid of magic or prayer. Women suffering from Ekota were starved, beaten with wooden rods, baited with dogs and trained bears, drenched with ice water, and left out to freeze. Those who survived returned to their homes and never suffered from Ekota again. Exit. I want to help.
Oh, we wouldn't dare. We want to help her.
Help her? Many have tried. None have succeeded. What makes you think you can?
I know how your daughter is suffering. That's why I want to help. I know how.
Very well. Couldn't hurt, I suppose. It surely couldn't get any worse. My girl suffers from an Ekota, day and night. Akulina hides in the Old Church of Transfiguration at night. The Ekota is not so violent there. That's where you'll find her.
Thank you. Don't worry about your daughter. We will help.
Well, God willing, God willing.
Goodbye, Yevdakia Fokovna.
Let's go. Oh, that's a super cool looking church thing.
The Old Church of Transfiguration. A grim shadow in the crimson twilight of the early hours. The domes of this building tower silently over you. Hundreds of years and dozens of generations have passed under its roof. You can feel the wisdom stored within these majestic walls.
Random said, nice. An icon, someone must have knocked it off its perch. Not stuck. Oh, stuck. Endiviant herb. It can even grant strength to unborn babies.
Old stairs lead inside the church.
I can't believe an Ekotnitsa was hiding in the church.
Windows reflect silver light in the rising sun. Okay, I guess that's it.
Old stairs lead inside the church.
Yep, take me. That's Jesus. What's up, Jesus?
This place is too grim to be a Christian place.
Don't you see Jesus over there, bro? The boy? These books got to say. Nothing. Let's go grab this plant. Hello, plant. Royal Eyes. Some simpletons who are considered to be miracle workers prize this herb for its love-binding properties and use it to fool people who are blinded by love.
The iconostasis has collapsed partially, as if it suffered a strong northern gale. The royal gates are crooked and no longer bar the entrance to the altar. It looks like some of the icons were torn out on purpose. Some of them stand facing the wall.
One sculpture looks majestic and enigmatic.
The iconostasis has in the dim light, you notice a heap of rags where the Ikotnitsa Akulina lays. She seems to be sleeping. From time to time, the girl shudders from nightmares sent by the Chort to haunt her. You call out to the girl. She jolts up and darts to the altar corner. Even amidst the gloom, you notice the way her arms are shaking.
Who are you?
Aw.
Don't hurt me, please.
Don't be afraid, Akulina dear. We won't harm you. I'm Vasha, and this is Kola. We want to help you. We heard you have a Nikota.
Yeah, they say I have a Chort inside me. It torments me.
Can we talk to it?
I can't make Proshka come out. He'll come out when he wants to.
We'll need your cross for this. Can you trade it to us?
What am I to do without a cross? Proshka will eat me alive without it.
I'll trade you mine. I have two of them. One was given to me at birth, and I found the other on the battlefield.
Tell us about your Chort.
What's there to tell? Sometimes he crawls out, sometimes he can do some sorcery. The other kids make fun of me.
The girl starts to whimper.
We can get rid of Proshka.
Get rid of him? Really? But he won't leave by himself.
Don't worry. I think I know how to draw his attention. I have to make the Ikota mad enough so that he leaves Akulina. How can I anger this particular Chort?
I believe Khaldoons dwelled who brought Ikota upon Lego. Uprising took place. We'll say the icons.
The broken icon at the entrance and the defaced iconostasis here are not a coincidence. It seems like he doesn't like icons, that Proshka of yours.
Yes, he made me deface the icons here.
I'll draw a circle, and we'll start.
You sit Akulina in front of the iconostasis, and Nikolai puts the icons into place. You start to read a Zagavar. You learned it long ago, but your memory doesn't fail you. The words of the spell ring out with a thundering echo. You almost manage to finish the ritual when Akulina suddenly pushes you. Taken by surprise, your incantation of magic words stops. The girl starts to convulse. The Ikota has emerged out of her.
Uh-oh. Oh, hey. Cat. Or dog.
You call yourselves exorcists?
Exorcist, bro.
This Zagavar is dated. No one uses that commencement now. What kind of witch are you? So out of fashion. Yuck.
Christ's kingdom.
It's impolite to make mention of such kingdoms in front of demons, I have you know. And you can't just go displaying icons. I hate icons.
So you're the Ikota Chort?
So what if I am? Ain't I fine looking like a feline? What did you expect? A frog or
feline.
something?
We need Akulina's cross.
Yes, I've heard. I need lots of things
Oh my
too.
gosh.
Tell you what, witch. If you beat me, I might even do both. Give you a cross and leave the girl.
No, tell me something else. Why do you haunt Akulina? Why do you torture the girl?
That's no business of yours. Well, on the other hand, I don't have anything else to do. Why not tell you?
You see, I study demons. They fascinate me.
There's nothing to tell, really. Yenidora used to be a wealthy churchyard near the springs. Merchants used to request prayers of thanks in this church when they returned from the north. I was once the Sosietko of this church.
Why would a church have a Sosietko?
House spirit or hobgoblin?
Why not? The abandoned ones have much scarier things inside. Or am I not good enough? But now, no one lives here and no one visits the church. They only go to the stone one. So I crawled inside Akulina out of boredom.
Won't you leave the girl alone?
I might leave her if you beat me.
So why don't you like icons?
Have you seen many charts that do? Or maybe we should open a church. We could call it Saint Chart, eh? You're a smart girl. Figured out that I don't like icons. They make me mad as hell. It's not that I'm against this new church. But she could at least make do without icons, right? These drawings, not my cup of tea. Gives me shivers.
We need Akulina.
Yeah, tell you what, witch.
Okay, fight
if you
me.
beat me,
So be it, Broshka.
here I come, Vasilisa.
Bro, you are... Oh, he has a ton of health, huh? Kill the demon now, the girl will die. Oh, I can't kill him anyways. I don't think. Yeah, if you kill the demon now. Like, freaking dude has like 100 something health. How would I do such a thing? Big buff. Owie. Lord almighty, dude. This guy is a problem. This guy is a problem? Goodness gracious. Definitely want to use that. I gotta be careful though, because the poison might kill him on the wrong turn, which would be real bad. But that's about the only way I have to kill him too, so... not ideal, obviously.
Get away from my Aquilina!
Away with you, demon!
Hey, get out there, dude. Forgot, I gotta keep using his stuff too. But that'll help a ton, actually. Need to get my defense up real high so he can't freaking murder me too easily. Yeah, I need to use that actually as well. Goodness gracious, this guy won't stop hitting me so hard. Chill out, dude. Like, for real, chill out, my guy. Okay. $15, $16, $32, $40. Yeah, that's getting them pretty close. Might as well crack into it. So I can kill him when it gets to the right time, which will be a bit, because I gotta wait for that thing to wear off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy like a bunch of herbs. I didn't think this game was gonna get so hard so fast.
You won't get me there.
Oh, no you won't. I have a Zagover with your name on it.
Yeah, loser. can't kill him here. If I kill him here, she's gonna die. You have a few more turns to live, my dude. Enjoy it. Oh, he healed her. Okay, interesting. Your days are numbered, homie. Yeah, oh, you out? Huh, you out, bro? Alright, so I'll get 7 plus 12. Yeah, I should survive. I don't think I need to use a herb here. Oh yeah, we got him. And we saved the girl. Great success. Task accomplished.
Wait. Don't finish me off, Vasya. I'll tell you what. I'll leave Aquilina and come work for you. I can be useful. You'll see. I won't harm anyone. I'll be good.
Work for me? I have plenty of charts already.
Well, I'm not exactly a short. I can be of use like a Susietka, in fact.
Actually, we don't have a Susietko. That's not such a bad idea. What will Grandpa say to that? Alright, I'll take you, but you better watch it. No joking around.
Proshka leaves Aquilina, climbs your left shoulder, and then vanishes into black flames. The girl crumples and falls down, exhausted. Her face looks calm and serene. Proshka won't poison her life anymore. You switch out Nikolai's cross for that of the Ikotnitsa. The crucifix looks old and rotten. The demon's power has left its mark. You hope that Aquilina's soul was left untouched by it.
Nice.
Now we have a cross. You see, Vasya, ask and ye shall receive.
Big deal. A demon's cross. Susietkas don't shun crosses either, I presume.
But on the other hand, we could do without this rattle box chort.
Why you call it a rattle box?
Hush, Proshka. Don't be angry, Grandpa. He may be of use to us yet.
All right, we'll see if it works out. All that's left for you is to get a name and a belt. Which will you start with?
First, I would like to get a name for the girl.
Well, go to Vilgurt. You'll find a priest there. Kolya, you should go too.
It's decided then.
Alright guys, I'm gonna call this part here. I'm gonna start playing immediately the next part, but I'm just gonna upload it. I know it's gonna be a long video anyways, but this game seems like it's gonna be a pretty long game considering the fact I haven't even broke the second seal yet. But yeah, I don't think I could play it. I don't think I can do one big part. I could, but it'd just take forever to upload. But yeah, so this will be the end of part 1. It's 3 hours, but I mean, game's gonna be long. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Bye!